Hello, today we're going to make smoked pulled pork. And as you can see here, we have a pork butt. It's been deboned. You see it's a little different in color because I brined it last night. Brined it overnight in apple juice. And I'll give you the recipe for the brine later on. You do not have to brine to cook it. You can just take it right out after it's thawed and put a rub on it and cook it that way if you like. Brining it just adds a little flavor to it. So let's get started. We're going to go out and we're going to turn the grill on. So come on with me. All right, here's our grill. We're going to power it up. I'm going to set our temperature to 200 for right now. Push it to lock it in and ignite. It'll take a few minutes for it to heat up and get started. And while we're doing that, we'll get the seasonings out and put the rub on the pork and inject it with some of the other brining liquid, and we'll go from there. Hello, we're back into the kitchen now. As you can see, here's my brining liquid. I've separated the solids into a liquid because we're going to use some of the liquid and inject it into the pulled pork. And we don't need any of the heavy duty stuff. So, and then we'll put some of the brine in a spray bottle as a mop sauce while the pork is cooking on the grill. So let's get started on injecting. You just inject it in different parts of the meat, and just like a shot, you pump it up. You see it's going to squirt all over the place. That's why I'm doing it on the cutting board. Okay, that was the timer saying that my grill is set and it's running at temperature. Alright, now that we've injected our pulled pork, we'll let it sit for a bit, dry up our mess. And we'll mix together some of our dry rubs. In the bowl, I already have a Kansas City barbecue rub. I'm gonna mix in a Weber dry rub for barbecue. And it's probably about a half a cup of each right now. And then this one has got a little kick to it. It is sweet, has a honey taste to it, but the chipotle is smoked dried jalapenos. So I'm using just probably about a tablespoon of this, because this is the first time I used it, so I don't need to set everybody on fire. And we'll get a spoon here and stir up all the rub. You notice it all looks very similar. The rubs, all basic rubs, basically start off with paprika, onion powder, usually a mustard powder, salt, pepper. And then you could add other stuff to it. I've added turmeric or smoked turmeric and chili powder to it. All depends on your taste and what you like. So now that we got that all done, we're gonna liberally coat our pulled pork. And you notice I trimmed the fat on it, but I didn't cut all the fat off. And it depends on what you're using to cook with. I'm using the pellet grill, so I didn't need that much fat, because usually if you're using a stick burner or a wood burner barbecue, you're going to cook it fat side down, and the fat will help protect the meat because you're cooking directly on coals. With this, I'm cooking fat side up, and so we don't need all that fat. And because the pellet grill cooks convectionally, and you don't need to protect it. And I also firmly believe liquids do not penetrate the fat because it's an oil content. And so to have all that fat on there, if it's that much of it melting and running down to flavor your meat, you're getting a lot of oils on there, and it's not penetrating because there's that water or moisture barrier as it cooks. Okay, as you can see there, we got a good layer of rub on there, all sides, and we're going to get some butcher string and tie this up on the grill. As you can see, I do a little basic knot, but we're doing about 3 or 4 wraps. That way when we pull it to get it tight, it doesn't come undone. Okay, then we'll do another loop, come through. There it is. Clip it, and we're done. Okay, now we're ready to go put it out on the grill. Let's go. All right. Here we can see that the grill is set. It's running about 204 degrees. We're going to actually turn it up to 2 1/4. Set it, and I got a super smoke setting, so I'm going to turn it on super smoke. Started off with a clean grill, fresh aluminum foil, and we have the grate up. Since we're smoking, we're not searing it, so we don't need the grate low. So we want the smoke to evenly go around the meat. So there's a pulled pork, it's on there, fat side up, and we're going to smoke it for at least 3 hours. Occasionally come out here and spray it with some of the brine, and that'll give it a good coating of moisture and help form the bark that's on the outside of the meat. So stay tuned, and we'll be showing the brine. You can see there's some of the smoke rolling out. This thing is ready to go and ready to cook. I also forgot to tell you that I got a temperature probe. We're going to probe put the probe in. That way we can monitor the temperature of the meat while we're grilling or smoking. Grilling is high and fast. Smoking is low and slow. And since it's pulled pork, we're going to go low and slow. We want to stick the probe into the thickest part of the meat, which will probably be about right there, right inside of it. Oh, well, let's feed it through the little hole first. There we go. In there, it's all set. And shut the lid, and we're ready to go. Okay, it's been about 45 minutes. It's we're gonna spray down our pulled pork a little bit, give it a little moisture. It's my Master Blaster sprayer that I got from probably Home Depot or Lowe's, because the little cheap ones that you can get at other stores, the springs and all in there get all rusted up. So this one seems like a better sprayer. There you go. You can see it's getting a good smoke on there. Give it a good spray. Nice and moist. You can smell the apple juice and the vinegar in it. There. Shut the lid, and we'll come out here in another 30-45 minutes. If you want to get a view, you can see the temperature right there. You got the grill will set for 225. It's right now running at 184, and the inner probe is running at 77 degrees. So we'll come back and check it later. Okay, as you can see here, we've been smoking our meat, pulled pork, for over a good 3 hours. That's enough smoke after usually 3 hours. It will not absorb any more smoke. So we're gonna spray down one good time last time. Wrap it up, and then we'll put it in an aluminum tray and let it go from there. Got it all wrapped up. Got it placed in the tray. Now I'll go ahead and just place this tray back in the center of the grill. Wrapping it up help keep it from burning. It'll cook more. We're going to turn off the smoke. And then we're going to raise our temperature up to 250 degrees. Set it. And then we're going to insert the probe back into the meat. And now we're going to let the temperature go up to about 205 degrees. Should be almost a total of 11 hours cook time, so it'll be dark by the time it comes off the grill, and we'll see you then. Okay. It's finally done. Internal temperature reached 205 degrees. We're going to take it off the grill. That's what she looks like. Nice pulled pork. What I'm going to do is let it just cool off tonight, and stick it in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow morning when I get up, I'll get the crock pot ready and shred it down and put it in the crock pot, and I'll show you from there. Thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. We're taking the pork out of the refrigerator, and now we're going to shred it up, put it in the crock pot, and cook it down. So it's already cooked, but we're just going to do it a little more barbecue style. Okay. Cut all the string off. We'll be ready to start shredding and shred it up, and hopefully within about 3 hours it'll be nice and hot and ready to go. We also have about a half cup of chopped onions in the crock pot, and we'll probably add in some beer, barbecue sauce, and a little more seasoning. But I'll show you that when we get to it. Let's see. There's the pork. See how easy that is just to tear up and put in there. It just smashes right down. And you'll notice on the other side there was still some of that fat. That'll just slide right off. Look at that. You don't even have to worry about it. The meat just falls apart. It's one of the good things. I mean, it's easy to do when you take it off the grill, but you know, it's still a little warm. Or if you cool it down overnight, and you can do it this way, is you don't burn your fingers, and if you're not in a hurry for it, but yeah, you do have to wait a little longer. It's more of a 2-day process, so you don't have to watch me do this whole thing. We'll wait until it's all shredded up, and I'll show you the rest. All right, as you can see, our pulled pork's all shredded up. We got it in the crock pot. It's starting to warm up. And now we're going to add just a different little rub to add some seasoning to it. And this rub is McCormick Grill Made Applewood rub. It's a good rub even if you just want to use this at the very beginning instead of other stuff. Tastes great, but you want to add a little more to it when you put it in the crock pot to let it shred down. And then, of course, I put some beer in there. What's barbecue without a little beer? And don't worry, folks, the alcohol will cook out. So you're not sitting there just tasting beer. And then add your favorite barbecue sauce or make your own barbecue sauce, whichever's easier for you. We'll let that heat up the rest of the way and mix in, and we'll hopefully be done. Thank you. Well, pulled pork is done. As you can see here, looks nice, cooked down. It's all steamed up and ready for a good taste test. There we go. Very good. So if you would like to try this, go for it. Does take a long time to cook, but this is only one of many different ways to cook pulled pork, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.